welcome to Cut to the Chase with Jen and Dan. This is episode 7, and I am Dan Ferullo here with my lovely co-host Jennifer Freed. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you today?
Most excellent. Very excited to hit these articles. We have a good mix today. Did you have a good week so far? We're recording twice in 1 week. It's a record.
It is a record. Well, the cat was messing up with the thing in the micro. That's why I was doing that. So I'm having some computer glitches, and my cat's in the other room, and I have a Bluetooth keyboard, and so he must be on my desk playing with it. That's why my computer's going all over the place. Okay, so back to these. Sorry about that little digression.
We like it. Dan has the cutest cat. Super furry, fluffy, orange. Always greets me at the door. Very friendly. Loves to play with chords. He's a little bit naughty, so that's why he's over there dancing on the keyboard.
Yeah. So, couple of really cool articles today. A couple of local articles that we're going to go through. So jumping into the first one. His Forbes article, renovations that don't add resale value to your home. So homeowners love to do renovations to their house, and a lot of times they don't think about what the renovation that they're doing is going to, or how it's going to affect their house when they decide to sell. If they do decide to sell, they're not thinking about selling at the time, so they're customizing for themselves, and sometimes some of the renovations that are done are not exactly what will appeal to the highest number of buyers.
Yeah, and another point to make is if you put a $20,000 renovation into your home, you're definitely not going to get an extra $20,000 back when you go to sell your house. That's just the way it is. It's a bit of a bummer, but depending on the project you do, it really depends, even town to town, what dollar amount you're going to see back of that. It's not all doom and gloom, though.
And depending on the renovation, too.
Exactly.
I mean, where there are certain, when we've talked about where certain renovations really get you the most bang for your buck, but here we're going to talk about where they don't get you the most bang for your buck. So, number one, eliminating rooms. So, changing the layout can be a short-term expense, but it's kind of a gamble when you're going to sell your house, and the number one thing that people tend to do is take two bedrooms and make a master suite. And while that is really awesome for the people while you're living there, it seems like when people are going to search for homes, if you say you have a 3-bedroom home, you knock 2 bedrooms together and make it one big room, then you only have 2 bedrooms, so you're really missing out on a huge pool of buyers that are looking for 3-bedroom houses.
Yeah, exactly. This next one is a polarizing one for me, and I'm dying to get Dan's opinion. I didn't ask him about it beforehand. It says don't get rid of your bathtub, and I don't agree with this one. I know Forbes thinks keeping the bathtub around is a great idea. From my experience, having a house that's all showers is not inherently a deal breaker for buyers. What's your thought?
I mean, for me, I don't generally ever take baths, so I would be fine with only a shower, but I think the article kind of states that maybe more the demographic of the neighborhood really is what would really make a difference. If you are in a family neighborhood, families with small children most likely need a bathtub.
And dogs.
Oh, sure, dogs too, I guess. Families with small children and dogs will need a bathtub. Well, can't they just hose Rover off outside?
It really depends on the family. I think there are definitely some dogs that get
I've actually been in a house that had a pet cleaning room, and it had a pet shower.
That's
and
amazing.
A bathtub. Yeah.
I love that. And that also goes to show that you really should just enjoy your house while you're in it.
True,
and if you're going to be grooming your pet a lot and can put in that space, do it. Enjoy it for you.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree with the bathtub thing.
I personally don't need a shower. I mean, I personally only need a shower too, and also if it's an older couple or something like that, they really would prefer a walk-in shower because of accessibility needs. So I guess that one depends on where you are. The next one, hobby rooms. Hobbies are really great, they enrich your life, but sometimes if specialized hobbies, they really only appeal to other hobbyists who share your passions, like such as like jewelry, pottery, woodworking, a dark room. Like if you aren't a photographer, you definitely don't need a dark room in your home.
Or if you have like, you put in extra electricity so that you can run industrial grade wood shop equipment
Sure.
for your woodworking hobby, that's amazing for you, but most buyers aren't going to need that.
Yeah.
So doing that, you're not going to see any of it back at sale.
Yeah, exactly. The next one talks about overly high-end renovations, which I think Jen kind of mentioned before we really started getting into the number, like into the actual things. Sometimes if you spend $10,000 on a light fixture, you are not going to get that $10,000 back. And you kind of have to go with like she said too, on like what you enjoy in your house, and if the investment is worth it for you, you just have to remember that this is not going to compute on the other side for exactly what you're looking for.
Right, and you can go crazy with hardware. Everything from doorknobs, on your front door to the drawer pulls in your kitchen. There is a wide range of prices on these. They can be extremely customized. And those are the kind of things that you just won't see back at resale, but they can make your house really personalized and fun and look beautiful. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Renovations that are too costly for your location. So homes tend to sell, like homes in a neighborhood all tend to sell somewhere in a similar price range. And if your house is the one house on the block that has 7 bedrooms and a huge pool and a huge great room and all this stuff, and every other house has 3 or 4 bedrooms, most likely you're not going to get all of that back.
Yeah, another good example is, if you're a chef and you want to put in the Wolf range and, the Sub-Zero fridge and all of those amazing appliances because you cook like that, and you're in a neighborhood of all 2-bedroom homes that have, kind of modest kitchens, you're not going to get the value the same way as if you were in a neighborhood where all of the homes had what are, would be considered a gourmet kitchen where everybody has, the extended Wolf range and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then too much customization. So, and this is kind of like when we're going to list a property, we usually talk with the sellers about depersonalizing the space, because buyers want to come in and they want to be able to envision their stuff on the walls, or they want to be able to envision their furniture in the room, all of that stuff. So we try to take out as much as we can while still making it seem appealing to buyers. So the more that you customize the home for your own particular needs, the less it can appeal to other buyers. So just think about that too when you're...
Just like the example of the dog grooming space, it'd be great if that wasn't so highly customized that it can only be used for pet grooming.
Yeah.
If it could also look like a mudroom, or like just a spot, just off the back of the house that maybe if you were a gardener, you also might be dropping off your stuff there after working in the garden. Then you could, when you go to sell your house, use the space a lot of different ways instead of only as a pet grooming area.
Exactly.
So less customized.
Yep. And then the last one, DIY renovations. So everybody really loves the whole trend towards DIY right now. HGTV has really been leading that whole trend and making
YouTube.
people. And YouTube,
and
true.
Pinterest.
Anything you can find to do, you can figure out how to do it on YouTube.
Exactly.
So when you're going to sell your house, things that you've done yourself that really should be done by a professional, leave those to the professional, strictly because a home inspector and buyers that are coming in can see that the work isn't done.
Yeah, that tile backsplash that you're so sure that you can tile that backsplash in your kitchen, depending on what you put up, it's really apparent to people that you did it yourself.
Exactly.
And, we want to give it a big pat on the back, but you also don't want everybody that walks in saying like, oh, you did your own tile backsplash. It shouldn't be so obvious.
Right.
Good article. What's the next
great
one?
article. So next one is a local article talking about Portsmouth. So
Oh, this is a hot topic.
Yeah, so apparently in one neighborhood in Portsmouth, home tax valuations are up 19% this year.
Yeah, so what does that mean for the people? So this is Humphreys Court in the south end of Portsmouth. What does it mean for those folks, Dan?
So it looks like the values of their homes, as far as the town sees it, based on their tax valuations, have increased 19% since the last time that they did a tax revaluation. And there was one gentleman who is a resident of Humphreys Court whose house went from $494,500 to $606,400, and it's only a raised ranch in the area and has less than 1,000 square feet. So the town is valuing less than 1,000 square feet at more than $600,000. So the tax values, that's the tax value. We're not sure yet what the actual taxes will be because they haven't set the mill rate, but it's safe to say that those are definitely going to be going up for most
So it doesn't mean that neighborhood's going to have a 19% increase in their property taxes.
Exactly.
Because the town hasn't set the mill rate, which is the tax rate that they apply using the tax valuation, and they basically multiply it by the mill rate, you know, price per thousand.
Yeah.
So, but I would be shocked. I would be stunned if I received such a bill. So how are people feeling about it?
They are not very happy about it. They had a meeting the other day. Where did it say?
And how frequently are they going to be doing these evaluations? I think statewide they're supposed to be done
at least every 5 years.
Yeah.
But in Portsmouth, they're going to be doing them once every year in order to make the value jump not seem as such a big deal to the homeowners. And while this is an increase in tax value, I mean, we as real estate agents, the tax value, and we mentioned this in our first episode actually, that the way that the town values your property with the tax assessment does not directly correlate to your market value of your home. So while home values in Portsmouth absolutely have been going up, and probably somewhere around 10% over the past couple of years.
Yeah, they're not up by 19%, that's for sure.
They still aren't up quite that high. So tax bills will be mailed in November to Portsmouth residents, and then they can make formal appeals through the assessor's office. So if you're in Portsmouth and your bill goes up and you think that it's way too high, definitely follow their procedure for appealing.
Yeah, you can definitely appeal. Hit us up with some comments on this one, especially if you're one of the affected people. If I were a resident in this neighborhood, I would have some feelings about this for sure, and I want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, our third article, another local article,
Boomtowns.
Talking about boomtowns, biggest boomtowns in every state. So a couple of the boomtowns in New Hampshire are very close to us. Actually, one of them we're in right now.
Yeah, the biggest boomtown is actually Dover. This is an MSN Money article.
Yes, MSN Money. So 5-year change in population in Dover is 2.9%. 10-year change in population over 10%. So the population in Dover has increased 10%, more than 10% in the past 10 years. And Dover's per capita income increased about, $1,500, almost $1,500 within a 5-year span. So looks like the town of Dover is really starting to boom, I guess you could say.
Yeah, what they look at to see which population centers are booming is they look at the fast population changes, and they look at changes in income. Mm-hmm. So seeing our 10-year change of per capita income up 20.6%.
Oh wow, yeah.
With a 10-year change population of 10.6%. That's saying that there is a huge change happening here in Dover. They also commented that other boomtowns statistically that are happening, another one is Rochester.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes the perception is there's growth and no income growth, and this article is refuting that a bit. Mm-hmm. also sometimes it's hard to tell. It seems like every single town has revitalization happening and all that kind of stuff. But really, if you're looking at the whole state of New Hampshire, they singled out Rochester, Dover, Manchester, and Concord as the spots where the population and the increase in their income of the population
exceeded national averages.
Yeah, so good to know.
So good places to be.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Dover and Rochester.
We will.
It might not make them less expensive to live. So
that's certainly true.
Good news if you are there now, and good motivation to get in while they are, continuing to be attractive places to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, great. Well, that's all that we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Please leave us a comment, like the page, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, a lot of ways to get in touch with us.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And we hope everyone has a great week, and we will be back next week.
Sounds good. And please leave us a review on iTunes.
Yes.
And do the stars. Click them when you get the chance. We love a 5-star click. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you.